Well, there's one animatronic. I know the fan base will just lose it over in the best way. Larger than life cameo.
Well,
I feel like I've said too much.
No,
like
you
I've
said
already
perfect amount. You said the perfect amount.
They already know what I'm talking about.
No, well. Hello, I'm Jacqueline Coley. Welcome to Seen on the Screen from Make It Universal and Rotten Tomatoes. We sit down with the people behind the stories that move us and ask, what have you seen on the screen that made an impact? My guest today is the director of Five Nights at Freddy's and Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Emma Tammi. We're here at the Javits Center for New York Comic Con. Emma, welcome to Seen on the Screen.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, everyone has to start with this question. Tell folks who you are and what you do with NBC Universal.
My name is Emma Tammi. I'm the director of Five Nights at Freddy's and the sequel of Five Nights at Freddy's, which is coming out December 5th.
And I love it that we're here in New York at Comic-Con at the Javits Center filming this right before your panel. It's so crazy to be back here already because we actually met when you were releasing the first one, and it was such a strange time. It was just you on the press tour, but you had this fandom, this lore, this story sort of like propping you up through that crazy time. And then it became a phenomenon. So let's go back to that and tell us how you got involved in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe and then signed on to be the director. Like, I have to think you may have been at home with Let's Plays. I don't know. Like watching these videos and playing the game. I don't know. Tell me.
Well, it was definitely at home because it was during the pandemic or nearabouts when Jason Blum called me for the first time. And he was like, have you ever heard of Five Nights at Freddy's? And I hadn't.
Ooh.
And I did an extreme crash course. And I was like, this is immediately feeling nostalgic, even though I'm just being introduced to the world. And something that I thought was like such a great idea to adapt into a movie because the tone of the games just like already lent themselves to something that felt like a really scary, creepy, amazing cinematic experience. So I was super hyped to be able to talk with him about it. And then eventually with Scott Cawthon about it. And it was kind of a one step at a time thing where these conversations started building and then working towards a rewrite on the script. And then we eventually were greenlit and actually making the movie, which was incredible. And you're right that when the first movie came out, it was just me solo and Jason with you because the actors were on strike. And it was a very different moment. We didn't know if everyone was going to receive it well. So this now, round 2, is incredible. We've got the cast with us on all the press junkets, and we're super excited to like deliver to a fan base that's already just amped on the first one and excited to see where it's going.
And I think it just talks about like the fandom and how much it is a huge part of Five Nights at Freddy's. And I can see that's very intimidating for anyone to come in and direct it. So the fact that you pulled it off so well is just so commendable. So really,
thank you. It's the whole team, but thank you. Appreciate it.
I mean, girl, but
a team. But yes, thanks.
Let's bring it though to you though. Before you're stepping on set to direct a story like this, you're just a passionate film fan. You're a director. You're trying to do your own stories. And I love how you had that moment in New York Comic Con and you're like a homegrown New York girl
born
with
and
like
raised.
actor parents. Tell folks a little bit about that.
Well, I grew up on the Upper West Side in a rent stabilized apartment that my parents still live in. And it was the best playground to grow up in, I think, for so many reasons. But one of the main reasons was getting to see so much film and theater.
Yeah.
And just having access and at an early age and I think that influenced me a lot and I miss it. I live in Los Angeles now, which still has amazing movie theaters.
But it's
New York, it's different.
Yeah, it is very different. Yeah.
So that was formative for me.
Yeah, I mean, we're steps away from like the IMAX in Lincoln Center, which is one of the best theaters in the world.
Totally.
And, you know, also just steps away from Broadway. And again, I said your parents were theater actors. So they didn't get mad at you because you didn't want to be a director on Broadway, right? They were like happy, like, all right, I don't know. Sometimes working parents, because they know the struggles, are like, go be an accountant.
They would have loved that. They would have loved that on some level. I think anything that would have like guaranteed some stability would have like made my mom really happy in particular. But I think they also were excited that I was sharing a desire to be part of an artistic community and do something that felt still within the language of something that they also really have participated in and loved throughout their life as well. So
I love that.
Yeah.
And I will say, when you have artistic parents like that, you definitely end up usually seeing stories, whether it be on Broadway or on television or in the theater together. And like it becomes like kind of like the family event. It's like, oh, we got to watch the Tonys, or we got to watch the Oscars, and we got to watch this person's movie. What is one of those films that was really sort of a family affair for you, or a theater experience where it was like, okay, this is all of us together, you know, really, and the ones that kind of informed you being a director?
Yeah. Well, for some reason, I know I saw a ton of movies with my mom too, but I remember specifically seeing like a bunch of movies with my dad as a kid. And we went to one there, I think it was at MoMA. They were having like a Charlie Chaplin series. And there was one week where we just like went and saw like every Charlie Chaplin film. And that was like the first time I had seen a silent film big, and it blew my mind. I also remember going to see Lawrence of Arabia with him, and that's his favorite movie of all time. So to get to see that for the first time with someone who's like a lifetime lover of the film, and see it through my lens, see it through his lens, it was like a very special shared moment. And the movie blew me away, obviously, for all the reasons. But
hot take, because they have very different energies, but like the way Matthew holds himself, I could see him like doing a Peter O'Toole in like, you know what I mean?
I love that.
It's just funny that you say that. I'm like, you know,
he would love that too.
You know,
you should tell him. Yes.
It's just like Scooby / Peter O'Toole. They can do both, right?
He could actually.
All right.
Guy's got range.
He does have range.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into our popcorn buckets, and we're going to start with some quotes of things that you've seen on the screen. So hopefully you recognize this one.
Okay.
I think you will. I'm going to give you some help on this one, and the internet is probably going to make me pay for it on the other side, but here we go. I am what I am, and that's all that I am.
I am what I am, and that's all what I am. Popeye?
The Sailor Man.
One of my faves. I remember that as a kid I'm dating myself, but I believe it was like a beta tape, not even just a VHS tape, of Popeye, Robert Altman's Popeye, that I watched many, many times on repeat.
I think I may have heard in my notes that you wore out the tape.
I might have.
No, that's really
very
good.
possible.
Also the bops in that one. I'm mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's just Robin Williams as Popeye.
Incredible.
I know I work at Rotten Tomatoes, and the score on that one is not high, but it is an eternal classic. And it is in our book, Rotten Movies We Love. It is in our book, Rotten Movies We Love, which I always tell people about. I'm like, it doesn't matter the score. We love these movies.
Yes.
Like Space Jam was rotten.
Yes. I have actually not rewatched Popeye as an adult, so this might be on my to-do. Maybe I need to go through actually that whole list and
I just think it's such a
watching them.
Great actor one too. Like you're really watching these actors commit to a very broad genre, and I think pull it off.
Yeah.
You mentioned Robert Altman. You worked with him as well, so it wasn't just like a inspiration.
I interned for him and at his company called Sandcastle 5. He's an idol of mine and so many, but it was interesting getting to be a fly on the wall during the latter part of his career. I started interning there when I was in college, I believe, and Gosford Park had just come out.
Wow, yeah.
And that was like one of his biggest successes of his career, both critically and in terms of box office. And it was still so hard for him to get the next movie made.
Wow.
And in fact, he didn't even get the next movie made that he wanted to the most. That wasn't the one that he landed financing for. And it was just such a lesson in like, not just independent film, but just as creators, like that it's never, one success never guarantees the next. And this idea that you constantly have to be generating and creating and be passionate and have perseverance was like so instilled.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, watching him go through that. But he's just icon.
He is icon. It's that frenetic energy that he sort of has, something that you have to adopt in yours as well. For sure. All right, here we go. Next quote. I don't know what's worse, being alone or believing you're not. This one's very close to you.
Oh God, that's even worse that I don't know what it is.
But you personally, like it might be one of yours.
Oh God. I made this movie? Okay. So.
I don't know what's worse, being alone.
Oh, The Wind. Oh my God, Teresa Sutherland's gonna kill me. I never in a million years, that's the writer of The Wind. Yeah. I never in a million years thought you'd be quoting anything that I made. And
You're too humble.
Been a little while. When did we shot that in 2017?
18 is when it came out.
That's when it came out.
Yeah.
We shot in 2017.
I know in movie times that's like forever, but like.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell Teresa she was just quoted. Yes. That's a good quote.
Pull up the episode, send it to her when this goes live.
Okay. I was like trying to envision like a kid.
I mean, this was your first feature, so like you were probably just going through it at that moment.
It was a blackout moment. It was I think our original schedule was 18 days. We eventually got a couple extra days because some things happened for the better. And anyway, it's a whirlwind.
Yeah. Yeah. So talk about stepping into your first feature. I mean, you were doing her screenplay and like, yeah, just the process of doing The Wind.
Oh man, it was.
Because I'd imagine you learned a lot of lessons from your first feature that are still showing up in what you're doing with this.
I did. And even just like day one in some ways felt like the biggest, which was just that it felt so damn good to be on set and to be working with actors. And I was like, this is it. This is the dream. So that feeling I'll never forget. We just had we had this small, scrappy, non-union crew. We were shooting in New Mexico in wonderful locations, but everything was a challenge. And everyone was like so fabulous, so talented, and so giving their all.
Nice.
That it was just like being at the best adult camp ever. I say that because we were all like kind of living out there out of town, and there was some local crew, of course, too. But we felt a little isolated on the prairie all together.
Yeah, because it's about pioneer women. Sort of like the horrors of being in the Wild West.
That's right. The isolation and the mind games that you can be tormented by and subjected to after being alone for so long, and then the additional layer is something supernatural in our film. So
yeah, because it's a real horror movie, and we don't want to give too much away, but it's women dealing with these horrors.
Yeah,
it's a primarily female story. And from what I've heard from folks, because y'all are keeping this movie very under wraps, folks. Like, let me tell you, there's a little bit of that elevation of the female characters that we see in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. A little bit, maybe some wind echoes of the female characters. You know what I mean?
Well, we've got Vanessa, who's at the heart of our story in the sequel. And she's dealing with her own internal demons and demons from her past. So those are coming to haunt her for sure. Yeah, and the way she's grappling with that, I think, does sometimes like teeter on the line of paranoia.
Yeah.
Which is definitely what The Wind was also grappling with. What was so interesting about that is the even though it was a supernatural story in the end, it was inspired by actual accounts of women on the prairie claiming to be going crazy because of the constant whirring of the wind that was just incessant and never stopped. I think with Freddy's, there are other external triggers.
No, this one is not even the paranoia, but the vibes feel the same.
And like the tonal, I think, comparison is not totally off base. Yeah.
Let's move on to our third quote.
Okay. Since I really nailed the second one. Let's do it.
We got it. My dreams aren't just dreams. They're memories. Try not to be humble.
This is also?
Five Nights
at Freddy's? One? Oh my God. It's like, was I even there?
No, you were.
Was I
you
even
got
making
it. You
this
got
movie?
Because you're thinking somebody else's movie.
Yeah,
You're not even,
I am.
Yes. I was like, try not to be humble. Because you're
like,
literally thinking of like, what?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, like memories. Okay, this feels like a trick.
No, it is not. It is so not. But I did want to make sure we had a moment to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. Also, you're being such a good sport with this because I'm also thinking to myself, it's like, yes, but
Yeah.
you were literally like, I was talking about Robert Altman. I did not think we were going to go to Five Nights at Freddy's. I thought you were going to go to like Universal Horror. I get it. You're like, give me a Get Out quote. I know where you're at.
But I love the combo of it all.
Yes,
to be honest.
I get it. But what I was going to say is with Five Nights at Freddy's, I kind of alluded to it. The people that are a fan of this, like the lore just goes so deep, but you also had to make this for just folks like me who like maybe even knew what Five Nights at Freddy's was and seen a couple of Let's Plays and obviously maybe even played the game. And then you also have to do the people that have never heard of any of this. Like you got to find a place for all of those folks in one movie. How did you sort of balance that in the first one?
Well, I think we really focused on the fan base first and foremost. It's hard when you're trying to please so many people to ever please anybody. Mm-hmm. So we're like, well, at least if we stick the landing with them, we're in good shape.
Yeah.
But I think maybe even the fact that I was coming from initially a little bit of an outsider perspective, I was also just really trying to track the characters emotionally and figure out like what was drawing me in. And both as on a human experience level and relatability level, but also as a horror fan and what felt, creepy and satisfying in terms of scares and tone. I don't know, maybe there was because focusing on the fans, but then baked in a little bit through yourself. Me not knowing everything. It was like, we were all just trying to make the best possible movie.
Well, I will say everyone was very pleased with it. Again, it was like such a huge audience success. And I think even folks that maybe didn't get it, they marveled at the physical part of it, like with the creatures, with the practical effects and the assist from Jim Henson, right?
Incredible.
Talk about that collaboration because this is not just working with your normal costume or production design people. Like some of these have to work as far as movement, they have to work as far as stunts, and they have to look terrifying.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's, I think, one of the most special things about this franchise is the collaboration with Henson's Creature Shop. Our lead designer, Robert Bennett, just did the most incredible job on the first film. But then we were like, okay, we're going to do more than three times that amount of animatronics for the second one. So we've got like a full-on army of animatronics in the second. And we learned a lot of lessons from the first that we were able to apply to the second, but there were also like a massive amount of new things to figure out how to create, engineer, move, puppeteer, all the things. So it was one of the biggest challenges and one of the most exciting elements. And I think you're right, even if it's not, the movie isn't totally something that you get all the references to, like the craftsmanship and the personalities that come out through the animatronics is I think something that a lot of people can appreciate regardless.
Don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
You don't have to know who Matt Pat is to know like what that vibe is. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's very interesting.
If you're watching it in a theater full of kids, Matt Pat comes on, you don't necessarily know who it is, but everyone starts talking in the theater. It's so fun. Fun to witness.
I'm sure. Is there more moments like that in this one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
of course.
cool.
Like, we had to deliver.
Those internet, what I call them, the internet Easter eggs, because you have to be a part of it. The other thing, though, less on the lighter side, more on the serious side, and I think it's what you kind of alluded to is, I think why people got it, especially with like Josh and what he brought to that first one, is this like idea about like grief.
Yeah.
And so like there was still like character stuff with that one. Is that something that we'll see in this one, or just in general, what are sort of the emotions that you're playing with?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're trying to carry authentically where we left those characters into new territory in this film, but still like threading the needle. Mm-hmm. And it's really important for Josh in particular and all the cast actually to really like get inside the headspace of the characters as well. So even just like where we started with the script versus where we ended up throughout the journey of prep and production, like it was so continually developed in tandem with them, which was hugely helpful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite mean? I mean, there was the one with Matthew where he's like, I don't think this is going to go very well for you. Like that one, there's all those Josh thirst.
The Josh ones cracked me up.
They were a lot of thirsty.
The whistling one?
Yes.
Oh my God. I died.
Did you send it to him?
No,
or did you
I
talk
think
to him about it?
I feel like maybe he showed it to me, or he was talking about it on once the strike ended. I think he did like one late night show, talked about it on that. And it was the first time I'd heard about it. The whole world had already seen it before I saw it. I'm so behind. People have social media. I'm like under a rock.
I'm very excited to what they do with this next one. And I have to, if I know anything about Blumhouse, there might be some things that are just specifically you're like, this is food for you to eat. As far as the internet's going to love this moment.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like again, like, I don't know how you do it, but there's a magic of Five Nights at Freddy's where you're like, yes, this is going to be something that is memed.
Well, I think it's the fan base. Like they're so creative and they're so attuned into everything. So they pick up every single little detail. One of the things, like when we're in post on the film, and certainly during prep and production too, that I really instill in like the crew and post team is like, there's not going to be one frame or second of this movie that is not going to be watched on repeat, analyzed, freeze framed. Like the details matter big time. So we really, really try to pay attention to everything.
I love that.
Yeah.
You did an incredible job.
Oh, thanks.
Popcorn, pug it down. Although you were being very hard on yourself about it. You got there. It's not that big.
Jeez.
It doesn't have to be the lightning bolt. We're going to move on to true false. Here we go.
also just finished movie 2.
I know,
like
you're
yesterday.
literally like...
So I think I need to sleep for 20 hours. I mean, then maybe I'll remember anything I've ever made ever.
Yeah. You literally rap movie, come to Comic-Con. This is not fair. So I just appreciate you giving
this is the way to do it. Just keep on keeping on.
Dig it. The haunting lullaby that opens and closes the 1968 film Rosemary's Baby is sung by Mia Farrow herself.
I kind of want to say false, but it's probably true.
It's true.
Amazing.
She's very multi-talented. Yes, true. She recorded the wordless vocal for composer Christoph Komida's theme, Sleep Safe and Warm, which became the film's eerie signature melody. But that was Mia.
So cool.
That is the pixie cut that I tell every woman that you cannot pull off. But man, did she in that movie. Do you know what I mean?
She does. I was also I was watching something, Only Murders in the Building with Diane Wiest. And then I had just rewatched Parenthood.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just had the most incredible shortcut. Like her and Mia Farrow can pull off that pixie look so well.
We're all not built that way.
Yeah.
No, Rosemary's Baby's one is interesting because it's kind of in the DNA of Five Nights at Freddy's, is because you know you're going to be in a situation like in Rosemary's Baby where there's weird things happening around you.
Yep.
And you can't really say anything about it. And I think it's kind of the blueprint for the like, you're in a haunted house with weird people, right? So was that a big inspiration, or how does this film sort of fit in your director filmography?
Yeah, I love this film so much. And I love that the building is such a big character. And not just the space, but obviously all the neighbors. It's also set in New York City, which I love. I mean, I think Freddy's, especially the first one, we really were in one location. This one, we've expanded a little bit more, but have still tried to retain the atmospheric essence of exploring a space that is creepy as all get out. You don't know what's around every corner and what's coming to get you, which obviously was happening in Rosemary's Baby too.
Facts. I think one thing that's also interesting too with that one is, even though it's like horrific things sort of happening, it's the like slowly going insane, like want to cry at every moment, sort of like undercurrent.
Completely. And being gaslit. The fact that you aren't trusting yourself is like being emphasized and corroborated by people around you. It's just like that is one of the most
scary things.
Insane and scary things. Yeah.
And we all live it sometimes daily.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's the movie Gaslit, 1940s. This is a long-term concept. Play before that.
True.
Trivia question number 2, true or false? Every song in the 1990 film Goodfellas was chosen to match the exact year of its coordinate scene. Like,
oh, I would say probably true.
Definitely. Yeah. Martin Scorsese is not going to let that go. He handpicked every track so that the characters would only ever hear songs that existed in their world at that moment.
Genius.
Which is crazy because of how long the story sort of, it helps the story continue to play time. They start at the Copa and they end up in the 70s with like Layla and such. Love that movie.
Yeah,
one of the
incredible.
greatest openings in, I think, movies. Also something that's common to Five Nights at Freddy's. Very like grab you openings too. Does this one have another one like that?
Oh, I appreciate that. It definitely does. I would say this one, it's longer, this cold open. And it's got a lot more story, actually. It folds into the plot of the film quite deeply. So I think it's a really special opening. I'm excited for the audience to check it out.
So many folks are excited for what's going to happen in part 2. What would you say are the biggest differences between the two movies?
I think the scale, there's more characters, there's more set pieces. So excited for everyone to see the new set pieces. They're really stand out. And so many more animatronics. And they, spoiler alert, they don't all just stay in the pizzeria. So I think while still being true to the DNA of the first one and this franchise and these characters, we have expanded it, and it's bigger and louder and scarier and all the things. So I think it's really fun too. It's like a ride. You were on this ride.
All right. I know that, like, again, they're keeping this movie very under wraps. And so you're trained. So look at you like, yeah, I'm not going to
We are doing everything we can not to let out one little detail.
You could just give me like a little buzzword log line where you know, hey, if I say the fans are going to lose it for this, just give me something that hints at what they'll lose it on. Give me a hint where you're like, you know, they're about to lose it in the theater, and just give me like the code word. Tell me the vibes of what that is.
Well, there's one animatronic that I know the fan base will just lose it over in the best way. And it's almost like a cameo.
Oh, see, that's
a larger than life cameo.
That is the low stakes kind of teasing that I was looking for.
I feel like I've said too much.
No,
like
you
I've
said
already
perfect amount. You said the perfect amount. This was great. Amazing job.
They already know what I'm talking about.
No, well,
there's a lot of things.
There's a lot
that it could be.
But by the way, they'll be in the comments right now telling us their theories. I'm looking forward to your guesses. But no, this is great. Thank you. All right, great job on the 2 trivia questions.
Thank you.
But we're not done.
Okay.
Rapid fire. What's your favorite movie snack?
Popcorn.
By itself?
Well, I like to, mix it with candy too.
Which one?
Or soda. These days, M&Ms, I would say I used to, or Junior Mints, but Junior Mints I got to eat separate. I'm not eating that with the popcorn. And back in the day, it used to be Milk Duds, but now like my teeth can't handle it.
No, I feel that.
Getting old.
Mine used to be Sour Patch, and now it's
also a great choice.
It's just gross, but you can't do it anymore because aging.
Yeah.
Last show you binged?
I just started binging Task with Tom Pelphrey and Mark Ruffalo, and it's fabulous.
I've heard. I haven't seen it yet, but I know that it is fresh on the tomato meter. All right, here we go.
Yes.
Going to the movie theater alone, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Every New Yorker does that.
Love it.
Trains, it's raining, go hit a theater.
Oh, and just like walking past, you have a little time to kill, you walk past a showing. It's the best.
Is there an actor or filmmaker that you'll always show up for?
There are a lot, but I would say like of the newer generation right now, Barry Keoghan is someone who's on the top of my
He's done some fun things already.
I
loved him in Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people say Saltburn, but that's my favorite. Him.
Well, he knocked it out of the park on both. Yeah.
He really did. What's your favorite classic Universal film?
I'm going to have to say that my favorite Universal film is also my initials, which is E.T.
Oh, yay!
And I visited the lot as a kid. My godparents lived in Los Angeles, and I came out and visited them. And my godmother took me to the Universal lot, which was like mind blowing. And we went on a little tour, which was also mind blowing. And they had like Elliot's bike and
they used to do the E.T. tour
in front of a screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I got chosen out of the audience to ride that bike. And my initials are E.T. And I was born in 1982, which is when the movie came out. Wow. So I felt like this was meant to be. Like, this really is my movie.
Yes.
No,
ownership.
It's, kids' fantasies. But I ate it up.
No, kids live in the real world. We are the one living in the fantasy. They live in the real world.
I believe that.
Favorite horror movie?
Oh God, such a hard question.
I know. You can spout out a couple.
Rosemary's Baby is up there. The Shining, big time up there.
Just two low rent ones.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Low rent.
Why don't you find some good ones?
I know.
Kidding.
True,
No, those are amazing.
And I also, it's not really considered a horror film, but like of more recent films, I felt like Parasite was like the most horrific, wonderful film.
I actually disagree with you. I do feel like it's a horror film.
It turns into it midway through.
It's like a Black Mirror episode of capitalism instead of technology.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it feels like.
Hits you over the head because you're not expecting it coming.
Yeah. And it's bloody.
It's bloody.
Yeah.
So I'm going to include that.
No, that's a lovely list. Lovely list. And I agree with you on a lot of your choices. Emma, this was a joy. It was so great to talk movies with you. And congratulations again on the film.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Can't wait for you to see it.